Chief Meteorologist Chris Boone.
Still hanging on to some of those hot temperatures across the southern plains into the 90s. Still 107 degrees right now out in Phoenix. The cooler temperatures off towards the north where we saw some of those showers and storms kind of moving in towards the Tennessee and towards the northern parts of Mississippi and Alabama. Again, still seeing some of those showers lingering on the national satellite and radar. Again, some heavy flooding in towards St. Louis. Now those showers kind of moving into the Appalachian Mountains. For us here in Texas, not a whole lot of activity. Haven't seen any rain. And unfortunately, it's been hard to come by even a cloud across the entire state. Again, plenty of sun, plenty of heat. As a result, we saw a lot of temperatures tied or broken records, and we're going to see a very similar pattern for tomorrow as well. Again, we saw those records really kind of running up across the area. Triple digits for us last week, likely to continue that trend as we go in towards the rest of this week as well. And again, we topped out with those record temperatures, and those start to add up. Each day kind of contributes to the overall total of the month. As a result, in fact, 2023 starting to put itself on the map as being one of the top 3 hottest Julys on record. This is compared to last year, where we actually saw the hottest July on record. Average temperature last year, 89.7. This one, about 2 degrees shy of that, 87.7 degrees for our average temperature. So again, we still have another 2 weeks to go to see whether it ends up and where it actually finishes up at. But unfortunately, don't see any cooler temperatures on the horizon just yet. Not a whole lot on the cactus cam. Again, mostly clear skies. Temperatures, though, have started to cool down. Still hanging on to some of those 90s. And a tad bit drier. Not as humid as it was kind of last week, where we were seeing those dew points into the 50s and 60s. Now down into those mid-40s. So slightly bit drier. And those winds generally out of the south across much of the Concho Valley. The heat advisories for the southern parts of the Concho Valley, that continues going in towards tomorrow. Again, temperatures could get up to 105 in towards the I-10 corridor. Further to the north and to the east, that's where we actually see the excessive heat warnings continuing. That's where we can see those heat index values get up to 110. The good news is, as we go through the rest of the weekend and towards the weekend, we'll start to see these become more of the heat advisories, getting away from that extreme heat, getting into the little bit more bearable heat, but it's still going to be staying hot as those triple digits not going anywhere anytime soon. 90s for much of the Concho Valley. Do have a couple of 80s on the map. 89 out in Coleman, 91 for Brady, Ballinger, 91 for Mertzen, Eden, as well as Menard. A little bit warmer still even towards Sonora, still into the upper 90s at 97 degrees, despite the fact that we're already well into the evening. As we go through the rest of your evening and overnight hours, temperatures dropping down into those upper 70s. That's just going to be for a couple hours. Most of the evening will be spent into those 80s, clear skies, and those light winds out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. The heat warnings continue for tomorrow. Again, we'll be watching a record tomorrow here in San Angelo, 108. We're forecast to get to 107. So we're going to be right in that threshold of tying or breaking a record. Plenty of clear skies across the area, and could see those winds pick up during the afternoon hours. Breezy conditions up to 25 miles per hour. Unfortunately, nothing on the radar as far as what we could expect for any rain chances. The best we can hope for is maybe just a few passing clouds, going to generally pushing in from the north, maybe having a little bit of shade, but unfortunately just nothing for as far as any rain is concerned. Hopefully that cloud coverage starts to add things up, pulls those temperatures down a little bit, but that coupled with that high pressure starting to slide off to the west just a bit, opens up the door. We'll see a push of cool air. Some of that could work its way in towards the northern parts of the state, in towards into the Texas Panhandle and Oklahoma along the Red River. But unfortunately, it looks like it's going to fall just shy of really getting any of those cooler temperatures into the 90s back down here in the Concho Valley. Because unfortunately, as that pushes off, well, then we'll see the high pressure rebuilding over much of the western United States, and that sees those temperatures climbing back up. So back and forth we go. The little roller coaster that is triple digits continuing. That's going to continue in towards not just this week, but next week. Looking at the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, above average temperatures, and unfortunately, well, triple digits staying throughout the entire 7-day forecast.